Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always following and supporting the channel. In your opinion, Doomsday versus Weapon H. Two monsters created from the most brutal experiments. Engines of destruction, forged not from metal, but from DNA and pain itself. On one side is the evolutionary nightmare of Krypton, the product of millions of deaths and rebirths, the being who killed Superman with his bare hands and adapts to every form of destruction, Doomsday. On the other side is the top secret weapon of mass destruction, a terrifying fusion of Hulk and Wolverine, a creature possessing the boundless power of rage and immortal healing abilities, Weapon H. Doomsday is the embodiment of survival evolution, where every failure only makes him stronger. Weapon H is the pinnacle of genetic engineering, wielding the dual skill set of two of the most dangerous beings on the planet. When absolute adaptation faces the perfect genetic weapon, who will be the last one standing?
Doomsday is the embodiment of pure destruction, a fighting machine devoid of emotion and knowing no mercy. He was created by the scientist Bertrand on the planet Krypton through a ruthless experiment aimed at producing the ultimate life form. Bertrand repeatedly exposed the infant Doomsday to the harshest environments on Krypton, where life was nearly impossible to sustain. Each time Doomsday was killed, Bertrand would collect his genetic material and clone him once again. This process was repeated countless times, causing Doomsday's body to continuously evolve and adapt to every form of injury he had ever suffered. Over time, he developed near absolute resistance to physical attacks and became an increasingly terrifying entity. After his power grew beyond control, Doomsday broke free from Bertrand's captivity, embarking on a journey of violent conquest across the galaxy before setting foot on Earth. It was here that he first confronted Superman in a battle that shook the world. Doomsday's physical strength reached a superhuman level, sufficient to compete directly with the Man of Steel in brutal clashes. He is virtually immune to all forms of physical damage, while also possessing extremely rapid regenerative abilities, allowing him to recover from seemingly fatal wounds. Only when his body is completely annihilated at the existential level can he truly be destroyed. Historically, Doomsday has used his strength to tear through a portion of the Phantom Zone, a dimension once considered nearly impenetrable. He has also single-handedly slaughtered thousands of Green Lanterns in bloody conflicts and continued fighting without weakening. Even more, Doomsday survived an explosion equivalent to the force of 100 nuclear bombs, demonstrating his nearly limitless durability. Doomsday has repeatedly proven himself to be one of the most fearsome entities. He once directly withstood Darkseid's Omega beams and then proceeded to defeat the Lord of Apocalypse himself. This is an immensely impressive feat, as Darkseid has repeatedly demonstrated power on a multiversal scale capable of threatening countless realities simultaneously. The fact that Doomsday could confront and overwhelm such an opponent shows that his strength and survival capabilities are virtually limitless. In other confrontations, Doomsday has also endured attacks from a Guardian without any loss of combat effectiveness. He has also defeated the Justice League, a team that unites the mightiest heroes of DC, including many characters whose powers reach a multiversal scale. Even Wonder Woman during the Rebirth era was left dazed after a single direct punch from Doomsday. Wonder Woman's divine sword, capable of slicing through atomic structures and piercing almost any substance, caused virtually no significant injury when faced against Doomsday. Doomsday's endurance has also reached an absurd level. He once withstood up to 4,035 consecutive punches from Superman and still kept fighting. The fierce clash between these two titans generated devastating force, enough to destroy a moon in the Bizarro universe. Each collision unleashed energy on a catastrophic scale, turning the battlefield into a sea of ruin and violently shaking the entire surrounding area. Doomsday is often likened to a version of the Hulk devoid of reason, existing solely to destroy everything in his path. However, his level of danger far surpasses that comparison because of his ability to continuously evolve after every defeat. General Zod's punches could barely inflict any significant injury on Doomsday's body. In the New 52 timeline, each of his appearances brought widespread destruction in its wake. The toxic haze surrounding Doomsday was capable of killing nearly all forms of life, and only the New 52 Superman could withstand that deadly environment for about 10 minutes before his body began to reach its limit. Even if an incarnation of Darkseid was powerful enough to defeat Doomsday in a single encounter, it meant very little. Doomsday's evolutionary nature ensures that each time he returns, he becomes more immune to the method that previously defeated him and possesses strength even greater than before, making the complete annihilation of this entity nearly impossible. Doomsday is an extremely powerful being who can defeat many, whereas Darkseid is not, and should not be considered as such, just as Darkseid is not Superman's enemy. Regardless, writers tend to agree that Darkseid is essentially a weakling who nonetheless possesses intelligence and a mighty army, which is what makes him terrifying. Doomsday has evolved to counter the power of the Orange Power Ring, causing attacks from that energy source to gradually lose their effectiveness. Even Superman has admitted that Doomsday possesses strength so terrifying he could tear an entire planet apart with his physical power alone. Doomsday defeated Orion, the mighty warrior of the New Gods, and also brought down Martian Manhunter, one of the most powerful members of the Justice League. Doomsday's nature is exceedingly simple yet terrifying in the extreme. He has no emotions, knows no compassion, and is not driven by ambition or power. His sole objective is to kill and destroy all life that appears before him. It is this mindlessness, combined with an absolute instinct for slaughter, that has turned Doomsday into a nightmare even the strongest heroes must fear. Doomsday's most fearsome ability is his power of instantaneous evolution. He once tore Plastic Man into countless pieces using sheer brute force. This is considered a particularly remarkable feat because Plastic Man is famously known for his virtually indestructible body. Doomsday also neutralized Martian Manhunter's phasing and intangibility abilities, something very few opponents in DC history have ever managed to accomplish through direct force. A chain of battles spanning hundreds of years has proven that Doomsday can maintain peak combat performance for a period far exceeding the capability of most other powerful entities. Each defeat only causes him to return with greater resistances than before. The only way to end Doomsday's existence is to completely erase his body and the very essence of his being, leaving no trace capable of regeneration. Another option is to send him to the end of time itself, where all concepts of life, death, and existence cease. This is one of the very few solutions capable of stopping Doomsday permanently.
I truly hope you will subscribe to the channel. It will help us immensely, and you are the most wonderful person. Thank you so much.
Now let's talk about Weapon H. The story of Weapon H begins with a top-secret government program known as the Weapon X program. After the success of creating Wolverine, Weapon X, those behind this program never stopped searching for a way to create an even more perfect living weapon. They experimented on countless subjects, but the vast majority ended in catastrophic failure. Until they came up with a crazy idea, combining the DNA of the two most dangerous beings they had ever studied. They took a DNA sample from the Hulk, a creature possessing boundless strength proportional to his rage, and combined it with the DNA of Wolverine, a mutant with extraordinary healing abilities and an indestructible adamantium skeleton. The goal was to create an entity with the destructive power of the Hulk, but with the capacity for control, along with the durability and biological weaponry of Wolverine. And they succeeded. The test subject was a former soldier named Clayton Cortez. He was abducted, injected with a complex serum, and transformed into Weapon H, a giant creature with the Hulk's green skin, bulging muscles, and razor-sharp adamantium claws capable of slicing through anything. Unlike the Hulk, who typically loses control when enraged, Clayton can retain the rationality and intelligence of a soldier while in his monster form. This makes him the perfect weapon. Destructive power guided by a tactical mind. Clayton is not a villain. He is a victim, and after escaping the Weapon X program, he tried to use his power to protect the innocent. However, his terrifying power is always a double-edged sword, and he is constantly hunted by those who want to turn him back into a weapon. Weapon H inherits the strength of the Hulk, allowing him to reach a level of limitless power based on his rage. In his base state, he can already lift objects weighing hundreds of tons. As his anger grows, his strength multiplies exponentially, with no discernible limit. He can punch through the hardest solid materials, level buildings, and create seismic tremors with a single blow. He has clashed with the Hulk himself and other powerful beings, proving his strength ranks among the top tier. And from Wolverine's DNA, Weapon H possesses one of the most powerful healing factors ever known. He can regenerate damaged tissue almost instantaneously. Wounds from bullets, stabbings, or even attacks that destroy the body on a massive scale heal in the blink of an eye. He can regrow severed limbs and even survive injuries that would normally be fatal. This ability makes him extremely difficult to kill and allows him to fight continuously for extended periods without any loss of strength. The adamantium claws and skeleton. This is Weapon H's most lethal weapon, something even the Hulk does not possess. His skeleton, including his retractable claws, is coated in adamantium, one of the hardest and nearly indestructible metals in the Marvel Universe. These claws can slice through almost any substance, including steel, concrete, and even other super durable metals. They provide Weapon H with a terrifying offensive advantage, turning every swing of his arm into a fatal strike. The adamantium skeleton also enhances his durability, making him extremely difficult to crush or have his bone structure destroyed. Unlike the Hulk, who often loses control and acts on instinct, and unlike Doomsday, who is merely an engine of destruction, Weapon H retains the intelligence and combat skills of a highly trained former soldier. Clayton Cortez can think tactically, analyze his opponent's weaknesses, and use his surroundings effectively. This is an enormous advantage, transforming him from a pure monster into a true warrior. With Weapon H's strength, Clayton Cortez possesses a leaping ability that transcends all limits. Thanks to his extraordinarily developed leg muscles and his immense full-body strength, he can perform jumps over astonishing distances. On one occasion demonstrating his power, Weapon H covered a distance of approximately 547 miles, equivalent to nearly 880 kilometers in a single bound. This feat reflects the colossal mechanical force his legs can generate. Even without transforming into the Hulk, Clayton Cortez is still physically superior to ordinary humans. During an encounter with Wolverine, he easily sprang from the ground into the high branches of a tree with just one jump. Similar to the Hulk, Weapon H can inhale a massive amount of air and then release it as an extremely high pressure blast. This ability is powerful enough to produce astonishing effects on the battlefield. He once used his breath to extinguish a raging wildfire engulfing Redwood National Park, while simultaneously generating enough concussive force to knock back Man-Thing. This proves that even the most seemingly simple actions can become a dangerously formidable weapon when performed by Weapon H. Clayton Cortez's defensive capability is one of his most prominent features. His skin, muscle system, and bone structure all possess a density far exceeding ordinary biological standards, combined with a virtually indestructible adamantium skeleton and an extremely rapid healing factor. This combination creates a body of astonishing durability, making it an extraordinarily difficult task to inflict serious injury upon or destroy Weapon H. His skin can resist most conventional blades, while adamantium and vibranium are among the rare materials documented to have the ability to effectively pierce this defense. Weapon H is also immune to conventional firepower, able to withstand extremely high temperatures, resist violent close-range impacts, and survive falls from great heights. Even when reverting to human form, Clayton Cortez still possesses a physical advantage far beyond that of a normal person, thanks to the adamantium skeleton permanently existing within his body. Although this state does not reach the maximum power of his Weapon H transformation, he can still withstand attacks with immense destructive force. In many battles, Clayton has survived blows from an enraged Hulk, a feat very few warriors can claim. Now, let me give you a direct comparison and battle analysis. This is a battle between immortality and destruction. On one side is unlimited adaptive evolution, honed through millions of deaths. This is an extremely difficult matchup to call. At their base states, the strength of Doomsday and Weapon H is roughly equivalent. Both possess planet-destroying capabilities and have clashed with the most powerful entities in their respective universes. However, the source of their strength differs. Doomsday's power is static and stable, enhanced through each evolution. Weapon H's power is dynamic and proportional to his rage, just like the Hulk. In a prolonged battle, as Weapon H's anger grows, his power could surpass Doomsday's in terms of raw strength. Lethality. This is an advantage that belongs to Weapon H. His adamantium claws are among the few things capable of inflicting real and immediate damage upon Doomsday. They can slice through Doomsday's thick skin and muscle, sever limbs, and even decapitate him. This is a terrifying offensive advantage that Doomsday does not possess. Doomsday fights with his fists and sharp bone protrusions, but they cannot compare to the sharpness and penetrating power of adamantium. In the opening minutes of the battle, Weapon H will be the one dealing more damage. He will tear through Doomsday's flesh, slice off protruding bone spurs, and force Doomsday to constantly regenerate. Healing factor. Both are extremely difficult to kill, but their mechanisms differ. Weapon H's healing factor is instantaneous and based on tissue regeneration. If he is injured, the wound heals immediately. However, this ability has limits. If he suffers damage that is too severe and sustained, or if vital organs are destroyed, he can still be temporarily incapacitated. His fatal weakness is his adamantium skeleton. While the bones themselves cannot be destroyed, the joints and connective tissue surrounding the bones can still be damaged. If Doomsday is strong enough to break Weapon H's joints, which he is entirely capable of doing with his strength, since the ligaments and tendons are not adamantium, he can temporarily neutralize Weapon H. Doomsday's survival capability, on the other hand, is an endless loop. He does not merely heal, he evolves. Every slash from Weapon H's adamantium claws, every severed limb, will serve as data input for Doomsday's adaptive system. And this is precisely why Doomsday will win. In the early stages of the battle, Weapon H will have the upper hand. He will use his adamantium claws to sever Doomsday's limbs, tear apart his body, and even decapitate him. He will think he has won. But Doomsday will not die. He will resurrect. And upon resurrection, his body will have adapted to the cuts of adamantium. More importantly, Doomsday will have learned Weapon H's weakness. He will realize that while the claws are extremely dangerous, Weapon H's joints are not. He will focus his attacks on the joints, breaking Weapon H's limbs in directions that the connective tissues cannot withstand. He will use his strength to crush Weapon H's skull from the inside, because the brain is still soft tissue. Although protected by the adamantium skull, severe concussive force can still cause damage. Meanwhile, Weapon H's rage may increase his strength, but it also gradually erodes his focus and tactical ability. The angrier he gets, the more he resembles the Hulk, acting on instinct rather than reason. And once he loses his intellectual advantage, he becomes merely a powerful monster facing an even more powerful monster that is smarter in its ability to adapt. This is a battle Doomsday will win, but it will be a hard-fought and prolonged victory. Weapon H is one of the most dangerous opponents Doomsday has ever faced because he possesses both destructive power and a weapon capable of truly harming Doomsday. In their first encounter, Weapon H might even kill Doomsday, but that is exactly the problem. Killing Doomsday is not the end. It is only the beginning of his next evolution. Weapon H, for all his power, is still a being with limits. His rage-based power may peak, but it ultimately has a ceiling. His healing factor can be overloaded. His adamantium skeleton is an advantage, but also a weakness when the joints are targeted. Doomsday has no limits whatsoever. He is the embodiment of absolute survival. Every attack from Weapon H, no matter how destructive, is just a lesson for Doomsday. And after enough lessons, Doomsday will become an entity that Weapon H can no longer harm. At that point, the battle will end. Weapon H will be defeated. Doomsday will stand over Weapon H's unconscious body and roar out a cry of victory.
And that is our analysis of the battle between the evolution engine and the genetic weapon. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment down below. Do you side with infinite evolution or the perfect weapon? If you enjoy analyses of top-tier engines of destruction like this, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future cosmic battles. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again in the next Fierce Showdowns. That's today's video. Thank you very much.